Welcome to Twisted Truths. The spring of 2020 was unlike anything any of us had ever experienced. The streets were empty. Stores were closed. Families were separated. And every day, someone else seemed to disappear. It happened so often that eventually another death almost stopped feeling shocking. Almost. When my friend Ethan died from COVID, none of us were allowed to say goodbye. His wife, Claire, called us through tears. She told us he'd gone downhill in just a few days. The hospital wouldn't allow visitors. By the time she was able to speak with him, he was already unconscious. A week later, 3 of us decided Claire shouldn't have to grieve alone. We packed groceries, games, wine, enough supplies to quarantine together for a week. If nothing else, she wouldn't have to sit in that house by herself. When we pulled into the driveway, Claire was already standing on the porch. She looked exhausted. She hugged each of us without saying much. The house looked exactly the way Ethan had left it. His favorite coffee mug still sat beside the sink. His reading glasses rested on the end table. His slippers remained beside the couch. That first evening felt surprisingly normal. We laughed, cried. For a few hours, it almost felt like life before lockdown. Then, I walked into the kitchen for another drink. As I passed the dining room, I stopped cold. Someone was sitting at the table, gray hoodie, head lowered, coffee mug in his hands. It was Ethan. He slowly looked up, our eyes met. A faint smile crossed his face. I blinked. The chair was empty. I stood there for several seconds. I didn't say anything. The world was already stressful enough. Maybe grief was playing tricks on me. The next morning, Mark nearly dropped his cereal bowl. He stared toward the upstairs hallway. He swore he had seen Ethan walk into the guest bedroom. The hairs on my neck stood up. I hadn't told anyone what I'd seen, not even Claire. That afternoon, Sarah suddenly froze while looking through the sliding glass doors. She whispered, "Ethan is outside." We all turned. Standing near the tree line was Ethan. Before any of us reached the door, he casually stepped behind a large oak tree. When we ran outside, there was nobody there. That night, the footsteps began. Heavy, slow, walking across the upstairs hallway, back and forth, back and forth. Claire's bedroom door never opened. Yet someone, or something, continued pacing overhead. Nearly 10 minutes passed, then silence. The next morning, Claire blamed the noises on the old house. We wanted to believe her. By the 4th day, every one of us had seen him. Mark caught Ethan disappearing around the upstairs corner. Sarah spotted him standing outside. I saw his reflection in the hallway mirror. I spun around immediately. The hallway behind me was empty. When I looked back, the reflection was gone too. We searched every room, every closet, every inch of the basement. Nothing. Something about that house changed. The laughter disappeared. Nobody wanted to be alone anymore. Even walking downstairs for snacks became a group activity. On the 6th night, the strangest thing happened. We were playing cards when the lights suddenly flickered. Then everything went completely black. Someone screamed. A glass shattered. Then the power returned. Standing at the far end of the hallway was Ethan, just staring at us. Nobody moved. The lights flickered again. Darkness. When they came back on, he was gone. That was the moment we all believed it. The house wasn't haunted. It was Ethan, or at least whatever remained of him. Our final evening arrived. None of us wanted to admit how relieved we were to be leaving. We ordered pizza, shared one last bottle of wine, tried convincing ourselves we'd imagined everything. Grief does strange things to people. Isolation does even stranger things. Around midnight, Claire stood up. "I have something to show you guys," she said. For the first time all week, she smiled, a real smile. She walked toward a large built-in bookshelf in the hallway and placed her hand underneath one of the shelves. There was a loud click. The entire bookshelf slowly swung outward. Behind it was a narrow hidden passageway. Our jaws dropped. Footsteps echoed from inside the darkness. Then Ethan walked out, alive, smiling. Every single one of us froze. Claire doubled over laughing. Ethan couldn't stop laughing either. Finally, Claire managed to catch her breath. None of us could even speak. Ethan invited us inside the hidden passage. It connected almost the entire house. A narrow attic walkway stretched above both upstairs bedrooms. Hidden vents overlooked the dining room. A concealed storage room sat behind basement shelving. An old exterior basement entrance disappeared behind landscaping. Even the upstairs hallway had a hidden access panel tucked inside the linen closet. "We found all of this after we bought the house," Ethan said. "We were bored out of our minds during lockdown, so..." Claire interrupted. She said they wondered how long we could convince everyone the house was haunted. Then she pulled out her phone. She opened dozens of text messages. "They're in the kitchen. Go upstairs. Wait 5 minutes. Stand outside near the oak tree. Mirror hallway. Now." Every time Claire had left the room, she'd been directing Ethan. Everything had been carefully rehearsed. By the end of the tour, we couldn't decide whether to hug them or hit them. Completely ridiculous, faking a death out of boredom. It was quite an elaborate practical joke. We left the next morning still laughing, calling Ethan every name we could think of. As our car pulled out of the driveway, I glanced back one last time. Claire stood on the porch waving. Ethan waved beside her. The upstairs curtain slowly moved. I smiled. Probably just the air conditioner. Then, a dark figure quietly crossed the upstairs window. It wasn't Ethan. He was still standing outside. It wasn't Claire. She never moved. The silhouette stopped, seemed to stare directly at us, before disappearing into the darkness. I never told the others what I saw. After everything we'd been through, who would have believed me? Or maybe, after a week of believing in ghosts, my mind simply wasn't ready to let them go. Either way, I've never been back to that house. And as strange as this sounds, I never saw Ethan or Claire again.